It's Wednesday night, 8:47 p.m. Sarah Miller is sitting in her car in her driveway. She's been sitting there for 6 minutes. She can't move. She's not hurt. She's not crying. She's just empty. The engine is off. Her phone has 47 unread emails. She knows at least 12 of them are from her boss, marked urgent, but she can't look at them right now. Inside that house, her 2 kids already ate dinner without her. Her husband made pasta, again, because nobody had time to grocery shop. Sarah makes $72,000 a year. On paper, she's doing great. She's living the American dream. Nice house in the suburbs, 2 cars in the garage, kids in good schools. But here's what's funny. And by funny, I mean deeply sad. Sarah's parents made $35,000 combined in $1,985. That's about $52,000 in today's money. They had a similar house. They ate dinner together every night. Her mom didn't sit in the driveway trying to remember why she does this. What changed? Here's what I'm going to prove to you in the next 17 minutes. Sarah doesn't actually make $72,000 a year. After we do the real math, after we account for every hidden cost of her job, Sarah might be making less than the guy who delivers her DoorDash. My name is Marcus, and I've spent 3 years studying something I call the life equation. It's the hidden math that controls how much of your life you actually own. If you've ever felt like you're running faster but getting nowhere, if your bank account is flatter than it should be, if you're tired in a way that sleep doesn't fix, this video is for you. Grab a notebook. You're going to want to take notes. Let's start with the biggest lie you've ever been told. From the first day of kindergarten, society teaches you one thing: your worth is your wage. What do you make? That's literally how we ask about someone's job. What do you make? As if the number on your paycheck is the sum total of your value as a human being. Here's how the math is supposed to work. Sarah makes $72,000 a year. Divide that by 52 weeks. That's about $1,385 per week. Divide by 40 hours. That's $34.62 per hour. $34.62. That sounds pretty good, right? That's more than double the federal minimum wage. That's a respectable, middle-class income. But here's the problem. In 1986, a brilliant woman named Vicki Robin wrote a book called Your Money or Your Life. It has sold over 1 million copies. It has been translated into dozens of languages. And in that book, she asked a simple question that changed everything. What is money, really? Her answer? Money is something you trade your life energy for. You go to work. You spend hours of your precious, limited, non-renewable life. And in exchange, you get pieces of paper. Or more accurately, you get numbers in a computer somewhere. So when you spend money, you're not just spending dollars. You're spending hours. You're spending days. You're spending years of your one and only life. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people calculate their hourly wage wrong. Very wrong. They take their salary. They divide by hours worked. Done. But that's like a business saying, we made $1 million this year, without mentioning that they spent $999,000 to make it. That business made $1,000 in profit, not $1 million. Your salary is not your profit. Your salary is your revenue. And today, we're going to find your profit. Let me introduce you to 2 people, Marcus Thompson and Lisa Chen. On paper, Marcus wins. He makes $95,000 a year as a marketing manager at a big company in Chicago. Lisa makes $55,000 as a freelance graphic designer, working from her apartment in Austin, Texas. Marcus posts pictures of his corner office on LinkedIn. Lisa posts pictures of her cat sleeping on her keyboard. Marcus wears $200 dress shoes. Lisa wears slippers. Who's really richer? Let's do the math. The real math. Marcus's life audit. Gross salary, $95,000. First taxes, federal income tax, Illinois state tax, Social Security, Medicare. After all that, Marcus takes home about $67,000. Already, $28,000 is gone before he touches a penny. But now we get to the part nobody talks about. Marcus lives 28 miles from his office. He drives a leased BMW 3 Series because he needs to look successful. That lease costs him $489 a month. That's $5,868 per year. Gas. He fills up twice a week at $55 each time. That's $5,720 per year. Car insurance for that fancy BMW, $1,800 per year. Parking downtown. His company doesn't pay for it. $200 per month. $2,400 per year. Oil changes, tires, car washes to keep it looking nice for clients. Another $1,200 per year. Total car costs, just to get to work, $17,000 per year. But wait, there's more. Marcus needs to look professional. Nice suits, dry cleaning, good shoes, a nice watch, because his boss has a nice watch. He spends about $3,000 per year on work clothes and grooming. Lunch. Marcus's office is in the Loop. There's nowhere cheap. He spends $15 on lunch most days. That's $75 a week. $3,900 per year. Coffee. The office coffee is bad. He hits Starbucks twice a day. $10 per day, 5 days a week, 50 weeks a year. That's $2,500 per year. And here's the category that nobody wants to admit: decompression spending. A 2023 study from the American Psychological Association found that 77% of workers experienced work-related stress in the past month, and stressed people spend money. It's called retail therapy, and it's not a joke. It's a scientifically documented coping mechanism. Marcus's decompression costs Friday night drinks with coworkers. $60 week equals $3,000. Year weekend golf, 2 network, $2,000 year. That expensive vacation he books every year because he needs it, $4,000. The subscription boxes he forgets to cancel, $600. The late night Amazon orders when he can't sleep, $1,200 total decompression spending, $10,800 per year. And one more thing. Marcus pays $400 a month for a housekeeper because he and his wife are too exhausted to clean. That's $4,800 per year he wouldn't spend if he had time. Let's add it up. Money lost to taxes, $28,000. Car costs, $17,000. Work clothes and grooming, $3,000. Lunch, $3,900. Coffee, $2,500. Decompression spending, $10,800. Housekeeper, $4,800. Total costs of having his job, $70,000. Remember, Marcus's gross salary was $95,000. Marcus's true net income, $25,000. But we're only halfway done, because now we have to talk about time. Here's what Marcus's day actually looks like. 5:45 a.m. Alarm goes off, 6 o'clock to 6:45. Shower, shave, iron shirt. Get dressed, 6:45 to 7 o'clock. Eat breakfast, standing up while checking emails, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. Commute on a good day, 8 o'clock to 6 o'clock at the office. Yes, he stays late, 6 o'clock to 7:15. Commute home. Traffic is worse in the evening, 7:15 to 7:45. Decompress, stare at phone, change clothes, vent to wife, 7:45 to 8:30. Eat dinner. Check more emails, 8:30 to 10 o'clock. Relaxing but actually thinking about work, 10 o'clock. Sleep now. HR says Marcus works 40 hours a week, but that's a fantasy. Let's count the real hours Marcus gives to his job. Actual office hours, 50 hours a week. He comes early, stays late, commute, 10 hours a week. Getting ready for work, 5 hours a week. Decompression time, 5 hours a week. Weekend work emails, 3 hours a week. Thinking about work when he should be sleeping. At least 2 hours a week. Total hours dedicated to employment, 75 hours per week. That's 3,750 hours per year. Now let's calculate Marcus's real hourly wage. True net income, $25,000. True hours worked, 3,750. $25,000 divided by 3,750 equals $6.67 per hour. $6.67. That's less than the current federal minimum wage of $7.25. Marcus has a master's degree. Marcus has 12 years of experience. Marcus wears a suit and carries a briefcase and feels important. And he makes less per hour than a teenager at McDonald's. Now let's look at Lisa. Gross income, $55,000 after self-employment taxes and regular taxes. $40,000, but Lisa's work costs are hilariously low. She works from home, no commute. 0 car costs for work. She wears yoga pants, no work wardrobe. Maybe $200 a year. For the occasional video call shirt, she makes coffee at home. $300 per year for good beans. Lunch, she walks to her kitchen. Maybe $20 a week on groceries, she'd buy anyway. But let's say $500 a year on extra snacks. Decompression spending. Lisa closes her laptop at 3 p.m. She takes her dog for a walk. She doesn't need therapy for work stress. She doesn't need expensive vacations. Let's say $1,000 a year for occasional treats. Lisa's total work costs, $2,000 a year. Lisa's true net income, $38,000. Now time. Lisa works about 30 hours per week on client projects. No commute. No getting ready time beyond brushing her teeth. Minimal decompression because she's not drained. Let's say 35 hours per week total when you count admin work. That's 1,750 hours per year. $38,000 divided by 1,750 equals $21.71 per hour. Lisa makes more than 3 times what Marcus makes per hour. But if you asked them at a party who's more successful, everyone would say Marcus. This isn't just my opinion. The research backs this up. In 2022, researchers at Stanford University published a study on remote work productivity. They found that remote workers saved an average of 72 minutes per day on commuting. Over a year, that's 312 hours. If you value those hours at even $15 an hour, that's $4,680 in time savings alone. Morgan Housel, author of The Psychology of Money, writes about something called the wealth paradox. He found that many people who appear wealthy are actually broke. They make high incomes, but spend everything to maintain the appearance of success. His research shows that the average American millionaire drives a Toyota, not a BMW. They shop at regular stores. They don't look rich because they're too busy being rich. A 2024 report from the Bureau of Labor Statistics found that the average American spends $12,295 per year on transportation. For households in urban areas with good public transit, that drops to $4,500. That's a $7,800 difference just from where you live and how you get to work. The book Die with Zero by Bill Perkins makes another crucial point. Time is the one resource you can never get back. Money can be earned, saved, and invested. Time only flows in one direction. When you're 25, you can trade time for money because you have lots of time. When you're 55, that trade becomes insane. You're giving away your most precious remaining years for numbers in an account. Ramit Sethi, author of I Will Teach You to Be Rich, calls work expenses invisible spending. He found that the average professional spends 15 to 25% of their income just on costs related to having their job. Think about that. A quarter of your salary might go just to the privilege of earning your salary. So why don't more people see this? Because the system is designed to hide it from you. Dr. Elizabeth Dunn, a psychology professor at the University of British Columbia, studies happiness and money. She found something fascinating. People adapt to their income level within about 18 months. This is called hedonic adaptation. When Marcus got his job, the $95,000 felt amazing. He felt rich. But within a year, it became normal. So he bought a nicer car to feel rich again. Then that became normal. So he needed a nicer apartment. Then that became normal. The psychologists call this the hedonic treadmill. You run and run and run, but you stay in the same place emotionally. Meanwhile, your real hourly wage keeps dropping. Here's the trap. You get a promotion. You make $15,000 more. Awesome. But now, you're expected to work longer hours. You have to dress nicer. You have to take clients to expensive dinners. You have more stress, so you spend more on coping. You move to a nicer apartment to match your status. That $15,000 raise might actually decrease your real hourly wage. You're processing more money, but you're keeping less of it, and you're giving more hours to get it. This is what the book The Millionaire Next Door calls big hat, no cattle, looking wealthy while building nothing. Okay, enough depressing math. Let's fix this. The solution is not to quit your job and live in a van. I mean, you can if you want, but for most people, that's not realistic. The solution is to optimize your real hourly wage, to treat your life like a business that needs better margins. Step 1. Know your number this weekend, not tonight when you're tired, but Sunday morning when you're fresh. Do the math. Write down your gross salary. Subtract taxes. Now subtract every cost you pay because of your job. Transportation, work, clothes, lunches you wouldn't buy otherwise. Coffee you wouldn't drink otherwise. Childcare costs that exist because you're at work. Services you pay for because you have no time stress spending coping costs. That number is your true net income. Now calculate your true hours. Include actual work hours, commute time, getting ready time, decompression time, weekend email time, thinking about work time. Divide net income by true hours. Write that number on a sticky note. Put it on your credit card. Step 2. Rethink every purchase. Once you know your number, shopping changes forever. Let's say your real hourly wage is $12. You see a pair of shoes for $120. That's not $120. That's 10 hours of your life. 10 hours of commuting, 10 hours of meetings, 10 hours of emails, 10 hours away from your kids. Is it worth it? Usually, the answer is no. The book Your Money or Your Life calls this the fulfillment curve. Every purchase has a happiness value, but after basic needs are met, more stuff doesn't equal more happiness. Most Americans are way past the peak of the fulfillment curve. They're rebuying things that actually make them less happy because they have to work more to afford them. Step 3. Optimize your job. Here's where it gets interesting. Can you negotiate working from home 2 days a week? That might save you 4 hours of commuting and $30 in gas. Can you move closer to work? If you cut your commute from 60 minutes to 15 minutes, you save 375 hours per year. That's more than 2 full weeks of time. Can you stop caring about status symbols at work? The $300 briefcase doesn't make you better at your job. The fancy watch doesn't close more deals. Warren Buffett, one of the richest people on earth, drives a $40,000 car and lives in a house he bought in 1958 for $31,500. He didn't get rich by looking rich. Step 4. Consider the nuclear option sometimes. The answer is to take a lower-paying job. This sounds insane, but follow the math. Let's say you're offered 2 jobs. Job A, $90,000 a year, downtown office, long commute, high stress, nice title. Job B, $65,000 a year, remote work, flexible hours, chill environment. Job A sounds better, right? But let's do the real math. Job A, after taxes, $63,000 commute costs, $15,000 work clothes, $3,000 stress spending, $8,000 time, 70 hours week equals 3,500 hours year. Real wage, $10.57. Job B, after taxes, $47,000 work costs, $2,000 time, 35 hours week equals 1,750 hours year. Real wage, $25.71 hour. Real wage, $25 hour. 8 hour, 8 hours, 8 hours, 8 hour and NI and add an A and an on out and where you sham I'm sorry I'm some I'm some my time I'm I do you tattoo of you do I'm well and you're now down the potato and the died I with the fire it's a fire Job B pays you more than twice as much per hour of your life. Job B gives you 1,750 extra hours per year. That's 73 extra days. That's 10 extra weeks. What would you do with 10 extra weeks every year? The bigger picture, 22 o'clock to 24 o'clock, let me zoom out for a second. The average American will work about 90,000 hours in their lifetime. That's 10 years of 24/7 work. If you did it continuously, 10 years of your life, sold to employers. The question is, what are you getting in return? If you're selling those hours for $7 an hour, when you could be selling them for $25 an hour, you're not just leaving money on the table, you're leaving life on the table. The philosopher Seneca said this 2,000 years ago. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Modern science agrees. A 2023 study in the Journal of Consumer Research found that people who value time over money are happier, even when they make less money. It's not about being lazy. It's not about not working hard. It's about working smart. It's about understanding that your life is the business, and profit matters more than revenue. Here's what I want you to do right now. First, like this video, and subscribe if this made sense to you. I know that sounds cliche, but it genuinely helps more people see this math. Second, share this with someone who looks tired. You know who I mean. The friend who's always busy. The coworker who answers emails at 11 p.m. The family member who seems successful, but never seems happy. They need this math. Third, do the calculation. This weekend, not next month, not someday. Write down your real hourly wage. Put it somewhere, you'll see it. Let it change how you spend. The rich are buying time. Private jets aren't about luxury, they're about saving hours. Personal assistants aren't about status, they're about saving hours. The wealthy understand that time is the real currency. You might not be able to buy a private jet, but you can stop selling your time at a discount. You can audit your life. You can cut the costs that drain you. You can build a gap between income and expenses. And that gap, that's where freedom lives. Vicki Robbins said it best. Money is something we choose to trade our life energy for. The choice is yours. You can keep looking at the number on your paycheck and thinking that's what you make. Or you can do the real math. And once you do, you can never unsee it. Every price tag becomes a time tag. Every purchase becomes a choice about how you spend your life. And when you start making choices that way, everything changes. My name is Marcus. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you in the next one.